this lovely land of mine. And God bless the mountains, the hills and the valleys. Someday the sun will cease to shine, and I'll desert this lovely land of mine. This lovely land, the old man said, will be alive when we are dead. My father's words still haunt my mind. It's God bless this lovely land of mine. Well, God bless this lovely land of mine. And God bless the mountains, the hills and the valleys. Someday the sun will cease to shine, and I'll desert this lovely land of mine. My gallant comrades have passed away, but with a song I sing today, I sing my song before I die. It's God bless this lovely land of mine. Well, God bless this lovely land of mine. And God bless the mountains, the hills and the valleys. Someday the sun will cease to shine, and I'll desert this lovely land of mine.
Hello and welcome for another episode of We Shall Not Be Moose podcast. Season 4, episode 3, Drappin Like Flies. The next show, it's just myself, Mickey Crowley, and the one and only John Paul Jameson, the ever present, the king of the podcasting.
Yep.
How are you?
Me. I'm not too bad, mate, not too bad. We're dropping like flies as well.
Aye.
Mick's dead, and Paul, I don't know if Paul's with this parish anymore.
Oh, I don't know where the fuck Paul is. But in fact, did we even hear from him for the last prediction on the chat?
I don't think so, but did something not happen with the last prediction on the chat that somebody did a first for this season?
For this season, the big man yourself secured a wee Brucey bonus because you got the correct score.
Yes, I did. I knew you would wait till the last minute then injury time to get the two, so it's all good, mate.
All good in the hood, but me and you, Biggin, so we're up against it to keep the content flowing. We've been asked countless times what's happening with your show, guys, but we've honestly just been fucking far too busy.
Busy and knackered, I think, because the three of us who do it, we've all got. Mick's got a 4-year-old. We've both got 2-year-olds.
Yep.
Fucking knackering, man.
We've got boy stuff. I've got work on the go. Quite chaotic, you know. So.
Yeah, me and you have got the boy stuff, which can be at times
a pain in the arse.
Yeah, but nice little some beer money in there for us, and make decent stuff as
and
well.
Quality products. Quality products, man.
No half.
Right, well, just get a wee notification up my laptop there. That can fuck off because it's just making noises. Right, so we'll crack on with the night's show, and we're going to start as we always do with a wee bit of trivia because Tim Trivia on Twitter at TriviaTim has been kind enough to give us another wee bit of trivia tonight, last minute, because we weren't quite sure if we'd make it on tonight, but we'll go for it. Are you ready? I can just see my wee guy in the background shouting.
I can hear him as well.
Fucking wee dauber. Anyway, Scott Brown made his debut in 2007 against Kilmarnock. Can you name the rest of the players in the starting 11 in that game?
Oh, can I guess with 3? Am I allowed 3?
Let's see. I've only got one question tonight, so. Well, in fact, I don't think we're going to have a break tonight because.
No, I don't think
we're going to keep this.
Horizontal mix the one, so the yes or no answers to questions that he usually goes on about for about 45 minutes. And that's before we fucking start
we should
recording.
just fucking start calling him Tangent Mick.
Aye. Off on a tangent.
Right,
Mick.
off you go then. Have 3 shots. There's obviously
Right.
10. But
I'm going Boric.
no.
Oh, was he away just after the Euros? Naka.
Naka is 1.
Was Sammy on loan
Oh,
that
whoa,
season?
whoa.
Was that
Wait a minute.
his
No, he's not. Sorry.
He's
I'm
not?
telling a lie, he's not.
Fucking hell,
I
man.
thought I seen his name there, he's not.
Right, 2006, 2007, no, it'd be 2007, 2008. So, Gordon Strachan's last year. Ah, right. Yuri Yarasik.
No. You've had 3 attempts, Big Ant, and you've not scored one. This is unusual.
I'm going 2 more then. Paul Hartley.
Paul Hartley is 1.
Strachan season. I don't know if he was signed before Jan Venegura Hesselink or after. Oh, will I commit to Jan? No. Samaras on loan that season before we signed him permanently. Oh, fucking hell, man. It's no Telfer, because I think he retired by then. Dublin would have been away, or signs that season and plays in the League Cup final.
Dublin was a January signing though, was it not?
I think so. Donati.
Donati's 1. There you go.
Right, I'll take those 2.
Let's take those 2. That's fine. That's fine. So, off we trot then, and we'll leave the rest of them for the listeners. So, Scott Brown made his debut in 2007 against Kilmarnock. Can you name the rest of the players in the
What
starting
month
11
was it?
that
Do you know,
day?
mate?
I never got any of the details, mate. That was exactly what I got.
Wanker.
So, have a wee think, and we'll give you the answers at the end of the show.
Yep.
So, we're going to move on to the transfer window. Obviously, the window slammed shut.
Yes, thank fuck.
And we had, in my opinion, one of the better windows we've had for a long, long time.
Well, I was actually asking someone this. I was wondering, is this the best window since Martin O'Neill's first one? And obviously, there wasn't a window as such, because you could sign players up until March, I think it was, back in those days. And, you know, we got Sutton, Hartson later came, Bobo, Valharen. We got a gap for 50 grand halfway through the season, or like a good third of the way into the season.
Aye.
You know, that was. I'm trying to think of much better ones. Can you recently?
No,
I'd
I can't.
say that's probably the best for about 20 years.
Probably, it's definitely up there. I would probably say aye. I'd say aye.
I mean, the only thing I'm missing is greed. You know, in terms of I would
That
have
wee
loved
winger,
it.
a wee tricky winger.
Yeah, a wee tricky winger, or if we're playing 3-5-2, it's more of a tricky. Oh, he landed on his arse there badly, McTominay. Or it's a number 10 if he just doesn't fancy Rogic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because 3-5-2, you get the wing backs. It sort of negates the need for wingers. As such, but
And that was my only thing. Like when the window was shutting, there was wee rumours. We're still in for one more, and a couple of names are flung about, and you're like, oh, if we can get this one of the line, this will be.
There was the
tremendous,
Liverpool boy, but I never put any.
Nah, I didn't think that was a hand.
No, same with Sessegnon. That was one that I wasn't, you know, ever. We'd been linked to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have been an absolute cracker of a signing, but it's not one that you were, you know, putting your neck in the line for.
Aye.
But I'm sure we certainly asked, but whether it was realistic or not.
Aye.
Because that boy's going to get good and better offers for better leagues.
Oh well, he already did offers from the EPL, so I think once they were known, there was fucking no chance of us getting him anyway. So
unless he was a secret Tim like Shane Duffy and fuck West Ham, man.
I just before we keep talking about the transfer, and I just seen that Shane Duffy's put on Twitter there that he's responded to something on Twitter, and he made it clear that Celtic are paying the total his wages rather than a percentage.
I think he was only on 28 grand at Brighton.
Well,
Sorry, when I say only, because of course I'm on 50 and you're on 60, aren't you?
Yes.
Something like that a week.
Aye.
So, 20. It's a nice wee wage a week.
So
Only 20.
So I don't know how the question came about, but it's just quite a strange one for Andy to come in.
I thought you were going to say, with regards to there's rumours that 3 of the Irish squad have COVID. I thought he was maybe responding to something like that.
Well, I'd heard that this afternoon, and obviously I was at my work today, so I'd heard there was something like 5 Irish players rumoured to have got it, but it wasn't released who it was yet. But I'd seen he was in the team the day, so I was like, well, can't be fucking him, eh?
No, I know.
So, but like the title of the episode is, Drappin like flies, it just seemed to be constant. It was just fucking Christie, and wait, who else did we have at the start? Sorry.
In terms of who's had it, well, Christie doesn't have it.
No, it's just
fucking
the people that's fucking ruled out. So we've got Christie,
we have. Oh, we'll talk about that with the international, but we're still in the transfer window, mate. I think we should go through who we've gone.
I was just because I'd mentioned Drappin what flies.
Christie, Bitten,
Neil Beaton and
Eddie,
and then obviously you were rumoured with fucking couple of Irish players. So we're starting to fucking get to the tickly bit, man. But
I think we're not far off naming who's ruled out the Sevco game 11.
Well, I don't want to be waving any fucking flags to get the game called off, but
no. It's just no fucking right for me. But it's not right. But you never know. They could have players coming back from. Oh no, they don't have many international players, do they?
Right, shower of shite.
Yeah, that my logic's fucked then. Right, so we go through the window. We
go to the transfer window. So
keeper
Barkas, we signed Vasilis Barkas for $5 million from AEK Athens, and progress report so far, I quite like him. I like how he commands his area. He looks quite assured, doesn't seem to be lacking in confidence, which I think's massive for a goalkeeper, especially for us, because they can spend large periods of the game without doing a fucking thing. But I quite like him. Are you still kind of no convinced? He's waiting for that great save to come off.
Well, do you know what, mate? It's not. Scotland should have scored again. It's not that he's done much wrong. I think the second Ferencváros goal, I'll always go back to this, being beaten at that angle, and the guy put it through his legs from a really tight angle. And I always said that I don't think he's made a save that Scott Bain couldn't have made, although he did alright at Ross County. He made a decent save. But the things I like about him, what you said, I like,
confident with him,
yeah, and Foster was never a very bottom heavy guy. He wasn't a big jumper. I mean, very agile, but it wasn't somebody who'd come out and you'd be 100% confident with crosses. With shots, absolutely. I also like he looks like when he gets the ball as well or catches it, he looks like he's trying to start something.
He's always like, so when he catches the ball, he's out straight away running
he's looking
to try and get somebody on their way, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not quite like, I remember when Schmeichel came to Man U, who he used to throw the ball out as far as most keepers could kick it. Do the halfway line, but what he does is it's almost like an underarm throw for a rush pass for someone to run on to. A bit of space, and I really like that. But I think he'll come good. I think he'll be absolutely fine. And I think $5 million for a really good, solid keeper.
He's quite young as well. So
yeah, it's absolutely. There's none wrong with that business at all.
And we remember how good he was against Celtic. So
I was a pain in the arse.
The potential that was unearthed that game is we're starting to get the best bits yet. So long may it continue. I know, like you were touching on with him, he's not actually had much to do in terms of saves. He's not been tested a lot.
It's either been in the back of the net and there's fuck all you can do about it.
Aye. Because I think somebody released a wee stat last week. I can't mind if it. I don't even know if it's true, but for the last 2 games, there was no shots on goal from to save. No, I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think St Johnstone should have had a shot.
Aye, they hit the
goal,
post, didn't they?
saved, aye. And how he missed that, fuck knows. But that wasn't anything to do with him. But the thing is, it's been really weird. There's times where I thought defences looked shaky, but players have played well in defence, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
So the two don't add up, so that there's something wrong. But no, he's been absolutely fine. I would have just said this Ferenc Faros one, but then the guy could have hit it in a 1 in 100 place, which where it did go in was a 1 in 100.
Yeah.
And had he have connected differently,
Shit happens, doesn't it?
It does.
So,
it's
like the one that the Livingston goal got a couple of guys gave him stick for, and I was like, no chance.
no,
I'm not having that. That was a great goal.
Nah, I'm not having that either.
So you just
Not
get
at
something. They just hit a ball so sweetly.
Aye, it's just
it was
a
a great
pain in
strike,
the
I thought.
arse. Just a pain in the arse, a good strike.
Right.
So
Barkas, I'm giving him a solid 7 out of 10 so far.
Aye, definitely. We've got Duffy.
We've got Shane
We're
Duffy
going
on
into
loan.
midfield.
Shane Duffy so far has been, I think he's been great. He's been very steady, and there's a couple on, like we spoke last week, he's been caught under the ball once or twice, but
yeah,
I think that's just match sharpness, to be honest.
Yeah, I think with his lack of pace as well, sometimes he's not as bad as Aya. Well, do you know what? I had to go at Aya last season because I thought he was regressing, but praise where praise due. He's not been as tight on men as Aya up the pitch. But I think Duffy can be turned.
Aye.
Because he's lack of pace. But no, that for me, he's nearing my top 5 greatest ever Celts.
And he's come up with a couple of good goals.
Yeah, threat in the box.
He seems to have brought a wee bit of calmness to the back 4 and all, back 3 at times as well.
Yep.
And he's obviously a leader. You can tell that from a
yeah.
mile away. So again, I'd give him a solid 7. Solid 7.
Oh, I think you're being harsh there, Mikey. I think a good 7.5.
A good 7.5 for yourself.
To 7 3/4, mate.
7.5 out of 10. I'll take that.
I think there's a lot more to come there. I think there's another 2.5.
We've got Moyel Yunusi came back again on loan.
That's a weird one for me, Mikey, because I thought the end of last season, the way I loved it as well, was 3-5-2, and as much as I love Moy, I just did not see where he fit, to be honest. Second striker, maybe.
I think behind the strikers, it would be brilliant.
But you don't generally play a support man behind in a 3-5-2. Especially the way we play, because we've got Brown who sits back further. You'd almost say McGregor's box to box or a deep line sort of playmaker.
Aye.
And then you've got Christie, who's
like a 3-1-4-2 in it, kind of.
And you just can't do 1-1-1 in terms of midfield. Have one line up after the other, especially when you've got the 3.
See, I don't think he's like a lazy player or anything. I think you get a decent shift at him, so that's how I think he would fit in well there. Do you know what I mean?
I just don't think but I don't think we can afford like a support man sort of just in between.
No.
When it's got to be a midfielder who's got more of an attacking edge, like Christie would have.
Aye.
But who can do the dirty stuff, and he's certainly not a wing back. So I really like Moyes. So
I so do. I mean, he's scored a couple of cracking goals already this season. But I think in terms of form, I think he's one of the ones as well that's kind of suffered with the flatness of the atmosphere and lack of fans. So for me, Moyes sitting on I'd probably say a steady 6, 7, just breaching into a 7. 6.5.
I'm a 6.5 as well.
6.5.
Diego Laxalt, I think he's the greatest ever left wing back we've ever had. I think he's been fantastic. He's not put a foot wrong yet.
He's no get Celtic here.
No.
I know he's no our player, but for that hair alone, I'd sell him.
Mate, I think Bruni just needs to get him pinned in.
I think we get him pushed. We get him pushed at a night out. Get him a kebab, sit him down in an alleyway, and somebody just goes to town on the boys in that.
Nah, mate. Apart from his hair, I think the boy's cultured. I think he's he's been in Milan, you know, a big fashion city, and even still not changed his fucking shit hair. But the rest of him's cultured, mate. It's
he's quite what's the word?
Pubescent.
Aye, but he looks very young. He's very lean.
Yep.
Thin, if you want to call it. His legs are like fucking pipe cleaners. But anytime I've watched him, like his highlights, he gets fucking tore in, and I think that's that kind of South American attitude. Like the Uruguayans, they're fucking hardy bastards.
Oh, I think any South American. I mean, I think if you know bumped into someone in the bar, you were drunk, they were drunk, and you were ready to go toe to toe. I think the one thing that would give me the fear if I learned that they were South American, I'd be like, JP, man, like,
this cunt's not going to go down.
And someone like me that's done a bit of boxing can take care of myself, a big chap.
You're a big boy.
I've got shoulders as wide as a Clyde. I think hearing the term South American, I'd be, apart from Morelos, fucking wee dick rolling around like a cunt. I think in 9 out of 10 cases, I'd be like, oh no.
Aye, let's just forget it. Buy the cunt a drink.
Aye. Give him your car or something
but
like that.
I'm looking forward to seeing him because he comes with a bit of pedigree, and a lot of people who
apparently done well.
That I kind of listen to, not listen to as such, but who are more educated on Serie A and kind of that style of football over there, overseas. They've had quite a lot of good things to say about him, especially his season prior to joining Milan.
Yeah, well, he did. He's done well at Genoa. Just Milan's
they're a bit of a basket case as well, weren't they?
Aye, they are.
I think they're starting to kind of get their shit together.
They're starting to level off, but
just as they come to play us cunts, know what I mean, as usual.
Nowhere near a Juve or an Inter yet.
No. And certainly nowhere near a Milan of old. Yep,
or a Glasgow Celtic champions.
Correct. So it's a 10 out of 10 for me for Diego for the glasses.
Yep. 10. Yeah, I'm going for the full 10.
Go for 10. He gets a -10 for the hair, but the glasses and the prepubescent look, he's added back up.
Absolutely. Who else have we got in midfield? Turnbull.
David Turnbull, who's one we kind of everybody on the podcast kind of championed, especially Mick.
No, are you kidding? I championed him from before Mick bloody joined.
He was quite vocal, but he's just as if he'd fucking just Turnbull strapped up my couple of letters and said, "Look, mention is on your podcast."
Do you know why? Oh no, I'm not having this. See, before Mick even joined, I said Turnbull.
You did.
Turnbull for forever. No, I'm not having that.
I'll be honest.
Fuck.
I'm a kind of one of the ones that's kind of turned off by signing players in Scotland, just for the simple fact that a lot of the times they're just not great. I know, and especially now, I don't think there's a great deal of talent in Scotland at the moment apart from your team.
Would you take a chance on someone like Porteous? See, I fancy Tim more than McKenna. I think McKenna's a donkey. I know you're okay with McKenna, aren't you?
No.
You think he's alright?
No.
Or is it Mick?
No, I don't like McKenna. I've never liked McKenna.
I
don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's a Celtic player. Same way I didn't think Greg Taylor was a Celtic player. I think
Taylor's an alright squad player.
He is. I mean, I don't think the boy's a bad player. I just don't think he's a Celtic player. That just happens. That just happens. It's not a bad thing about him. It's just sometimes that's just the way it goes. Know what I mean?
I think that's harsh, and I think he's picked on. I think he's an absolutely fine backup if we still had someone like the mini rat. For someone to come in against Hamilton at home when someone needs a rest, for someone to play in the League Cup. I'm not talking about a start.
He's still young and he's got a lot to learn, obviously, the boy. But for me, what he has to learn the most is just to take a bit of responsibility. Because he's very, very one-footed, and it always looks to go back away before taking some responsibility himself. And I don't know if he,
I
if he
think
suffers
that's
with.
confidence, mate.
I don't know if it's confidence or just the fact that he knows that he's not quick enough to kind of bust past people. I don't think he's slow, but I just don't think he's got that wee burst of pace that's going to help him in these situations. Do you know what I mean? But I do think he's a bit of a whipping boy for certain sections of the support, but for me, I'm not a big fan. I've got to be honest. But I don't want to go in the boy's case. Like I said, he's a young guy, a lot to learn. But I suppose if you're going to talk about him in depth, then you would have to say he's, was it 3 assists he's had so far this season? So he's played his part.
He's
played his part in spells. So, I suppose if you're going to look at it that way, then you could say that there's maybe more to come for him. But he's got to improve his final ball, and he's got to take a wee bit more responsibility for me. I think defensively he's fine. Totally fine.
Do you know what? I think his final ball's actually alright at times. I think there's consistency with his final ball.
At the moment, now, with him and Frimpong, for me, when they're going to get the ball into the box, I always think that they're just hitting the ball into an area. That's where they're told to hit it, rather than getting the head up and finding a man.
Yeah, I can sort of see a bit of that, but I think there's times where Greg Taylor's made me pull my hair out.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike you and Mick, I've got plenty of hair to pull out, so you wouldn't know that. But no, sometimes I think it's unfair. But then again, there's players that I'll target unfairly. We've all got favourites, and we've all got a whipping boy.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. Send that cunt McBurney off.
I'm actually behind you, so I've got the IPTV on, so I'm probably about a minute and a half behind you. How many minutes you got on the clock? I
have yellow card McBurney 82-22.
I am 80-29.
Right, you're.
So I've got other good bits to come.
2 minutes, mate. Aye.
So David Turnbull, I think obviously the game against St Johnstone, no many players covered their own glory that day. It was just a kind of fucking ran down, shitey, boring performance for most until the last 15 minutes. But I wouldn't single him out for that. I think you see him when he came on as a sub the other week.
His cameo against Hibs,
the
mate,
touches
was
a wee bit of class about him. He's got that vision. He's got that pass.
He's got that shot as well. Who was it set up for? Was it a Yeti set up for the third?
No, because Yeti was after, was he not? Do you know what injured?
No, who did he put through? Remember the wee sort of slide
the
ball?
wee
Was
ding.
Was it against Motherwell then he played?
No, it was a Hibs game, was it not?
I thought it was the Hibs game where he had the shot, he put the ball through. Was it Christie?
I think it might have been Christie or Klamala. I can't mind.
Oh, I can't mind, mate.
But he's one that's exciting us, and I'm really looking forward to him settling and getting some more game time.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that actually, I didn't really want to lose Andy in this transfer window, but there was a part of me that if we were to lose anybody, it would have probably been in Cham for a couple of reasons.
To see more Turnbull?
Aye, that's probably my main reason. The money side of things I couldn't give a fuck, because that's not going to affect us. And at the end of the day, I don't think if we're going to sell somebody, we're going to sell them, whether that be Eddie or anything like that. If we were to sell Cham, that money's not covering that shortfall if we're in need of selling somebody. That it just doesn't bother me. The money side of things, that 30 million, we should cash in for him for 50 or 15 million. It doesn't bother me, because 9 times out of 10 we don't fucking see it anyway. But
apart from this window,
we've actually done well. We've actually spent a bit of cash, and I don't think we'd go as far to say the board deserve a wee bit of praise, but at the same time, in trying circumstances with this fucking COVID pish, to go out and show a wee bit of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ambition.
A wee bit of ambition, mate, and building towards the 10 in a row, showing that wee bit of fucking gumption to do it.
The only thing, I can really criticise about this window is that, as per usual, and it's the lack of brevity, the slowness of getting a deal over the line, and when we should get them in, because we should always get them in for the first, second qualifiers.
Well, that ideally that is, but I don't think we could. We can't rewrite these games. Celtic had more than enough to deal with the teams that they were playing.
It was a very weird team selection, a very weird formation.
Down to the management and the players on the day. So we'll move away from that. But Turnbull, I don't think you can really score him.
I'm scoring them.
I'm scoring them. How are you?
I'm giving them a solid 8, mate.
Are you giving them a solid 8, mate?
Yep.
I'll go with that. I think arguably the best signing so far, your man.
The Prince of Strikers.
Yes, Swiss Bliss for the fucking Albion
Van Basten.
Albion Van Basten Ayeti. Very, very Predator-esque. He is
a fox in the box, isn't
he? He is. He's no Franny Jeffers, but he's fucking Albion Ayeti. That's for sure.
Oh man, he's just. Do you know what? I would love. Honestly,
he's got that Inzaghi hang about him. See that just the boss seems to just follow him at the right fucking place.
But that's what it is, mate. They know. I would love to see him and Eddie getting a full 10 games together.
Aye.
Or do you know what? Even him and Griffiths doing all the fucking legwork and all the.
Klamala as well. I mean,
Klamala for me's more a runner. You know,
I've said it before on it. I like you, wee man.
Mick's not a fan yet either. Still, sorry. But I really, really like Klamala.
That goal for me against St Johnstone, that just shows you what that boy's willing to do now to get into that team, and I fucking take my hat off to him.
I think for me, Klamala's an impact sub when defences are tired, looking to make the runs.
I don't think he's a player you can play up front himself. I think he needs a partner,
No. Aye, definitely. But, you know, he's somebody willing to run, and
he plays on the shoulder as well.
Yeah, so. No one will actually make that past him, so he makes a lot of empty runs, if you know what I mean.
He's dragging defenders about the place.
Aye. But, do you know what? See when you compare him to the almost the stabs in the dark we've had, he's better than Bayo. He's better than Amido fucking Baldy. He's better than Bangura. You know, all these random weird ones that we've just bought. He's already done more than them in a Celtic shirt. So for me, he's a guy that's contributed, scored important goals.
I like the fact that he's went away, JP, and he's, like we spoke about at the start, he's went away, worked on his physique. Done that, came back, looked hungry, waited his time. That goal against St John, many players, especially the foreign boys, let's be honest, would have stayed down after that tackle, which was a red card tackle.
Which was a red card all fucking day.
But that boy, he bounced straight back up, and what a fucking finish, man. Brilliant. I'm really, really happy for him that day.
No, I know. That was a bit of...
Because you want guys like that today, well, don't you? Because they're gaining everything. They're gaining everything. So...
absolutely.
You want them to be successful, know what I mean? Because there's some guys who come onto a part and you go, he's a fucking pain in the arse, that cunt. You know what I mean? Just get him to fuck. But I've never had that with him.
There's guys who are more talented than him, and if they had the same attitude as him,
they'd be world beaters,
would be world beaters, absolutely.
I mean, imagine me Griffiths with his attitude.
Oh, I was just about to say that. My God.
Night and day, yeah.
But then again, I think we've all agreed, and I've said that a few times, and we all agreed to it, that Griffiths is one of those boys who's had a good career, but he'll look back in his career and said, I could have done more.
I could have done so much more. I mean, and when you think of the amount of goals he scored for Celtic, how many Mary could have scored if they'd just been fucking available. And no available down to injuries or anything like that, just available down to him. You know what I mean?
No, even that. I mean, also where he could have gone from Celtic.
He could have made that next move,
He could have been a mid-Premiership team on 50, 60 grand a week.
I mean, you look at that fucking Scotland team that we're watching now. He should be all over that fucking team, you know what I mean? He should be Scotland's #1 striker.
Oh, without doubt.
And you've got a fucking dumpling that's come on as a sub, 20 odd million quid. An absolute pudding. McBurney, who doesn't even want to be there anyway.
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
But
and he's got genital warts.
Aye. That's the word in the street.
Well, I've put it out there, so... pass it on.
Before we shoot Armstrong's a grass, pass it on.
Aye.
Fucking
Dickhead.
Aye, so
fuck?
David Turnbull, what much did we spend on him? About £3 million?
3 mil. Well, it's undisclosed, but it's a record, and that was the fee agreed before his knee thing. But he seems to be fully back, and if that's rectified, then I think we've done a good bit of business. Motherwell have done a good bit of business, plugged a hole certainly.
And Jaime as well. Credit to the boy as well for fighting back and getting that move to Celtic. Know what I mean?
Break some people, understandably.
Aye, fucking right it would. Especially that amount of time. Know what I mean?
But great attitude. I think Motherwell and Celtic had a good relationship in terms of his rehab, and
Aye, because I think Celtic gave them a kind of a run of their kind of contacts and facilities. I think for what I'm led to believe anyway. And it's worked out in the long run for both clubs. So
yep, and hope. Do you know what? It's one of those times where I hope, he can, if he achieves things for us, and Motherwell have got either a good sell on or performance based
it benefits everybody.
Add-ons. Whether it's the Champions League group stage qualifying, they get an extra $250,000. Then so be it. They've nurtured the player, they've brought him through. So much as I don't like Motherwell,
nah,
but it's
the
one
family
of those
club.
ones. Aye. Fucking aye, the Hitler family club. But good bit of business. They've the fan run now. They've got more.
They've done really well for their team.
So I think a more pragmatic, more they're willing to stand up. Whereas I always thought the Motherwell boards of old would just be yes men to almost the huns, but. Good luck to them, and they make more money out of it. Great, because then we've got a player that's succeeded or a team that's qualified for things that we've wanted to do.
Back to
Laxalt
before. Did we get a loan to buy fee in, or is it?
Someone said in the huddle board, I think there was, and I don't know why I've got my head 5 million. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know if I'm just making that up or whether that's...
I think that'd be a wee bit short, would it not, after them spending 15 on him?
Aye, but they don't like him. But then again, there's money getting pumped into Serie A again. A lot of money spent in that league this year.
Well, them especially, because they get taken over, didn't they, with a big mob. Are they under Saudi investment as well now?
They could be, or Chinese, mate. I'm not sure.
I know they did get big investment, so...
Aye.
Well, let's wait and see how good the boy is first anyway, and then we'll hum and haw about fucking loan to buys. But what about the boys that have stayed and the bids we've managed to rebuff? Obviously, the big one on everybody's lips was Eddie. It was important to keep Eddie.
I wonder if we had... I'm sure we've been sounded out, but I wonder if we've either said no or we've given a firm price it's unrealistic. Just for this season, obviously he's only got 12 months end of next season. I would imagine though, if the way Lawwell is, if we are 10 points clear by New Year and we get a £25 million bid, I think he'd be off.
Nah, I don't think we'd sell it that. I really don't think we'd sell it that.
With 18 months left in his contract, mate.
I still don't think we'd sell it that.
I hope we wouldn't, but I could imagine we would. That's not my personal opinion.
Unless he signs another deal, but
well, I hope so. But then there was the rumours about how much he wanted as an add-on. There's rumours that PSG got a good 20% of a sell-on.
How much?
20% of profit. So 9 million. If say he sold for 30 million,
I couldn't see Lawwell letting 20% go, especially after shelling 9 out in them. I couldn't see that. I think the max he'd give would be 10.
I don't know,
like most cunts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some 10, some 15.
Just couldn't see him getting away 20, because you know what he's like.
If we'd bought him for 2 million, you could imagine 20%.
Aye, you could imagine getting away more than that for 2, but because it's Celtic spending 9, we'd have to recoup quite a lot to kind of balance that out. Do you know what I mean? Without even getting 20% away. So, the big ones, keep Eddie there was great.
Well thought Rogic was away.
Great for boy stuff as well.
Yes, especially we've got we've not done an
Eddie
Eddie product. An amazing Eddie product, mate.
Mm-hmm.
My dreams finally come to reality.
I have to say, this was your baby. This is your dream. We've made it a reality.
Yes.
So we have the finished article. We're just waiting for something else, and then it's showcase time, big man.
Yes.
For our
good.
Eddie, our Edward.
Well, what do we think Eddie's form though this season? It's
Poor,
not
very,
been the
very
best,
poor.
is
Very
it?
poor. But he still scored, 5 goals? Is it?
Yeah. The thing is though, as I've said, Eddie's, whether he's playing well or not, he's always your casual looking player.
Aye.
Whereas you take the polar opposite, Frimpong, whether he's playing well or not, is going to look like he's always doing more because he's a wee buzz bomb.
And he gives you everything, doesn't he? Eddie is. He can be lacklustre, but he can be like that even when he's playing well.
He's exactly like that when he's playing well. You know, there's
loves the big games, but doesn't he? And I think he could maybe be just the one that's probably struggling the most because any fans been in the ground. Because I do think there is that kind of lull in Celtic's play because with the fans no driving them on at certain times.
Well, do you know the only thing I can compare it to? I know a few guys like back in the day who were right into snooker, good club players, and they'd played against professionals, you know, the odd frame, and they'd beaten, and I was like, no, you haven't. You haven't beaten a professional at a frame of snooker. And they've got other people who could back up and say, I have. You know, and who were there and everything else. I'm like, how's that possible? How the hell is that? But you've even seen it with things like tennis.
Aye.
There's guys who usually, or women who usually, you know, croak it a wee bit. I mean, the world number 43 won the French women's title the other day. There's been a lot more upsets than there usually would be at the tennis. And apparently, I listened to a sports psychologist on radio saying how it can affect some in a negative way, but affect others
in a positive
in an
way.
incredibly positive way. And yeah, I get that, I understand that. That would probably make sense, you know.
I do think out of all the teams in the league so far in the SPL or SPFL, whatever you want to fucking call it, that we do seem to be the ones struggling the most in terms of that. I thought we'd kind of turned a wee corner against Hibs, but that kind of lull in our play came back against St Johnstone, and not until the last 10-15 minutes we kind of stepped up again with the introduction of Rogic, Brown and Griffiths, Klamala. But it just seems to be one of the things, and it's very hard to judge and be critical at times because you don't know how much these things are playing their part. But I seem to think that it is affecting Celtic, and not in a good way. And I just obviously hope that we can get to see some sort of fans back in the grounds very soon.
Yeah. I mean, I'd taken that survey. I think it was the day before the new lockdown restrictions were.
Aye.
I think it was in my junk email. All Celtic emails gone to my junk email for some reason.
My wee mate, wee Gordy said that as well, mate. He's tried to change that now. You can move them over and declare them not junk, but it still keeps going in there.
Yeah, they just spam me all the time, the bastards.
I'm still waiting my fucking jumper. That black hoodie. Can't better get their fucking act together. Dirty robbing bastards.
I know. So, I mean, Rogic not going, seeing them back on, you know.
He looked good when he came on, I thought.
He did, and you know,
it just makes you crave for him to get a run, doesn't it? A run of games, man, and get that, because it's his creativity that we lack. That kind of pass, that wee slide rule pass.
That kind of pass against a packed team, a packed defence.
And he's got that running strength and all when running with the ball, and the ball's like a magnet to his feet, man. When he's in full flight, Rogic is outstanding.
Would I start him against AC Milan? No.
No, I think you're going
to game like that.
I think we're going to need a bit of work in there.
We're going to need
help.
legs.
Aye, he's the guy to bring on about 70 minutes of our time.
Aye.
But I encouraged by Rogic.
Griffiths.
Encouraged by the wee man. We obviously had our say on the wee man when he fucked up again. But
I think I was the only one sort of still going for a wee bit of hope from.
Although Mick did think that he was fucking, because Mick's been critical in the past.
Yeah.
I think Mick also said that he would keep him just because it's the 10.
Do you know what? I think we all crave what he's capable of.
Oh, I don't think that's ever been a question.
I think that hurts a bit more. See if it was a waster, someone like, I can't think. But you think a waster acting the way he does.
Like a throwaway player. He's not a throwaway player because he's fucking supremely talented.
And he scored in the
so
bounce game against Motherwell.
Yes.
And I believe we've got another bounce game to try and get some fitness into him, another 60 minutes before he comes off.
Excellent.
I've got a feeling he's going to play a part against Sevco, but we'll
I think he will.
later.
I think he will. But obviously we've went through the Eddie, Ayer. We've managed to keep Big Ayer, who I think has performed quite well.
Well, you know, I was incredibly critical of him, and rightfully so, last season, but I think he's been a standout. There was the rumour about Julian causing a lot of hassle in the dressing room, and obviously we've barely seen Julian. He's been on the bench quite a lot.
What's the rumour? I've not heard this one.
Well, it was the Peter Martin one, who's very close to Lennon. He named 3 Celtic players and their attitudes that were causing problems in the dressing room, and it was Julian, Eddie, and there was someone else, and I can't recall. I don't know if it was Christie. It wasn't Ayer, strangely. I thought one of them would be, just because, you know, the rumours. But Eddie and Julian. Wasn't Sham. So
he's probably one you would have thought it would have been as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't. And as I said, Peter Martin and Lenny are very, very close, and I think he opines to Peter Martin quite a lot, and that sometimes gets out and the message is known. But Julian's had a when he was selected, had a terrible start to the season.
I was the
was
same.
A bomb scare.
Because Lennon kind of name checked him, and he said that it took a while to get going last season. He just seems to be that type of guy, and obviously that was just with form last season. But he's also flinging form, a wee injury, if it was an injury.
Yeah.
That's no helping. So hopefully the big man can get back to being the big rock that we know he can be. So we've managed to keep Big Ayer, who I think, like you say, we've had our concerns with the big fella at times, but so far this season, I think, he, like you say, there has been a standout at the back. Played really well. Good understanding with
praise where praise is due.
With Big Duffy, and he's spilled the big man out a couple of times actually. With his pace.
Yep, and what he was always good at was stepping forward. You know,
he's been really good
try
at
to create
this year.
something.
Really good.
So,
in fact, I'd go to say, before we actually scored against St Johnstone, he looked the one most likely to try and create something, which I think shows how bad, not bad we were, but how flat we were against St Johnstone.
A modern day Roy Aitken, mate.
He's fucking nice.
Nowhere near as good as the greatest ever Celt, but
the Scandinavian bear.
Yep.
So managed to keep the big fella. Who else were we toiling with keeping?
Sham.
Like I said, I think I wanted to keep everybody just for the sake of, because of the situation we're in with coronavirus and all that kind of stuff. We are going to need to use our squad this year because of how compacted the fixture list is. It's that congested. We're going to have to use the squad. So I was just happy that we did keep Cham. But if he was to go, I think he's probably the one that everybody went, right, okay, if we had to lose one, then if it was going to be somebody, then it would have been him.
There's always perennial links. McGregor's away, not through the player, but you know, through interest. And there was a lot of rumours going about that Christie was trying to get away, trying to push it.
Aye.
But then again, Christie didn't start well, but he came on to a game. I thought,
even though he didn't start well, though, he was still contributing.
Yeah,
which was good, because that bottom time, I thought.
Yeah, I think he started to come on to a game though. He was starting to to show a bit. The wheels were turning.
Like that Hibs game
results.
with the wee slide, the wee 1-2 with him and Cham, and then the first time ball through for, was that a Yeti? Was it that goal?
No. That was the. Was that not Tumble? Tumble put that one through for a Yeti, the one on the edge of the box. That was Tumble that played the slide rail pass.
I'm talking about the one where Cham
The first
breaks
goal?
away across. No, it's the second half.
And that was Tumble, mate.
No, it wasn't a Tumble. It was fucking Cham and Christie. I'm trying to think of that fucking goal. I'm checking my flash scores.
You think the left-footed one for like the edge of the box?
My teams.
The one in the top corner from a Yeti.
Fixtures, you can't. Fixtures. It was against Hibs. Sure it was.
Aye, third goal.
Hibernian. Where are you cunts? There we go.
You think it's Motherwell, mate? Christie was the one where he took the shot. First half, a Yeti scored, then went off injured. Remember the keeper saved it?
Mate, you're right.
The Motherwell one was...
It was El Yunusi, wasn't it, for Tumble?
El Yunusi, right.
Aye, well done, correct. I'm a fanny.
Yep. I didn't even check flash scores to confirm that.
We all know the rumours. Aye, so we've managed to keep Christie as well, who, like you said, I think it was his dad kind of try to punt him here, there and everywhere, and did fucking listen to him down south.
Aye.
As the rumours go, whether they're true or not, who knows, but
no.
Aye, it's just good to keep the squad together. The big players have stayed. We've lost, I think, young boy Jack Aitchison went away.
Aye.
Which he needed to do. He wasn't going to get a chance at Celtic, unfortunately. No. But looks a talent, so best of luck to him, young Jack. Celtic's youngest ever scorer, isn't he?
Yep, against Motherwell.
Aye, so best of luck to him. He's away to Barnsley, a decent move for him. So done well at Forest Green, I think, last season.
He did, yep.
So best of luck to young Jack.
Championship, great level to.
Aye, like I say, it's a good move for him. So fingers crossed he can do something for himself and make a good career for it. Cause
lower budget team, the Championship, but a very decent league for a 20-year-old.
Oh, definitely, man. Because you forget how young the boy is as well. Do you know what I mean? So, aye, happy for him. Hope he does well. I think that's roughly it. We've got young Scott Robertson's went down on loan to Gillingham and has been getting great reviews. Aye, he's been doing really, really well. I can't think of anybody else right now.
Afolabi went to, was it Dundee?
Ah, he's away to Dundee. That's right. That's the bribe in it.
Yeah,
he's away for the bribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, is how Celtic need Dundee? Fucking hell, moon howling bastards.
I mean, look at he's got to gain knowledge off of Charlie Adam.
Oh, tremendous! What an opportunity for the lad.
Aye.
So we've kept the big boys. Some young boys are being loan. I think a couple of more of the young ones should have went out on loan. I don't know if they still can actually.
Yeah, they still can.
So, like say young Henderson and that, they should be going out getting games because they're getting wasted just sitting there.
I honestly think Ewan's going to end up like Liam. Really, really good players would probably play the odd game now and again, be great to have, but they're just never going to get the opportunity, and that's a real shame. Because I always had a soft spot for Liam.
I think a player.
I think Ewan's a good player as well.
Aye, well, for what I've seen for the two of them, I think young Ewan looks the better of the two.
Yep.
At that stage of their career, anyway. So, also seen a re-interview with Liam Henderson there.
He's full Italian.
Brilliant, superb, man.
Absolutely.
What an effort, man. To go and integrate yourself into their society while you're there, brilliant, man.
Absolutely.
And it just shows you his attitude there. Spot on. That's what a lot of the young boys miss.
Yeah.
Attitude like that. So I think that kind of wraps up the transfer situation. By the way, we forgot to score a Yeti, but I'm giving him a solid 9.
Oh, a Yeti for me's... Yeah, 9. Absolutely.
9. It's that Hun goal in it, and then that's him fucking popping. He's got a full house. So, we've got our transfer window out the way, and we're going to move on to where we find ourselves right now in another shitey international window. Football.
International football, I think I've said this privately to you. You take France. you are getting players travelling from all over Europe to come and meet in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coming from countries with different rules. They come from England, Italy,
Spain,
France,
fucking
everywhere. And you're not expecting fucking COVID to spread. The same way, well, I say Ireland and Wales is mostly England,
Mm-hmm.
Ireland, a wee bit of Scotland, England. But you take countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, where most of their star players are playing in
all
different
over the
countries.
World,
But when we say the world, it's mostly Europe, really, when you think
aye.
about it. But it is just a basket case of an idea for this to be happening.
And I think
right now,
especially just you've got to pick a wee point at it, especially the under 21 side of things. I mean, what's the need to even take that chance? Because
I know,
especially
for
that
a 23,
age, exactly.
Especially for a 23-year-old and Eddie.
Aye, and
under 21.
they're going away. They're the more likely candidates to be asymptomatic, no show any fucking symptoms, have a longer incubation period. It just didn't make any sense at all, man. And then you're obviously facing the problems nations like the Czech Republic, who had to field a fucking total new squad.
Well, they've actually put a reserve squad for the next game against Scotland.
Because I seen that they had another 3 or 4 come out with coronavirus and their country's getting fucking hammered with it as well now. So
the Ukraine
you feel for these countries, eh?
The Ukraine played France the other day, and all 3 of the Ukraine's goalkeepers, one tested positive, the other 2 had to isolate. So they had to put their goalkeeping coach, the former international, I can't mind his name, who was 45, on the bench against France the other night.
That's mental. And that's just crazy, man.
It's just a time you say stop it.
Yep. I think the warning signs are there for everybody right now. And I get football's behind schedule, but there has to be priorities. I mean, just obviously because we're here, we're a Celtic podcast, we're Celtic based, we're talking about Celtic's hand in this. We're paying these guys a fortune, and we're being robbed of their services due to neglect and, for like a better word, UEFA and FIFA, whoever they want to, whatever competition they're playing in, they're putting cash before anything else. They're not giving a fuck about the knock-on effects for these clubs or for the players themselves. They're just trying to get their tournament up and running. No care for anything else.
Yeah.
That's a be all and end all with them. Is cash is king.
It's absolute madness. See, if you're going to have an international squad, if it's an English one, all the players come from England. If it's a Scottish one, all the players play in Scotland. Same with France, same with... If you're going to do that at all, you don't have players flying in for here.
But even then, JP...
Then they travel.
But even then, by saying that, you're still taking guys, if you're to make a case for that, you'd be taking Scottish boys for Rangers, Scottish boys for Celtic, Scottish boys for Aberdeen. You're still interrupting bubbles and putting them into another new bubble. So,
mate, I would honestly, even if there was no COVID, I wouldn't have international football.
No,
that's
I fucking hate it. Yeah,
how little I care about it. It fucks up my coupon. I wouldn't have it at all. So
it just brings that wee lull in your life for a fortnight, doesn't it? Because everything is centred around Celtic, and then it's fuck all.
And you see how the huddle board goes. Fucking Andy Tom asking what's your favourite fucking hob.
I'm going to be honest, see the stupid threads in the huddle board during international week, they're usually class, man.
Oh man.
And a big shout out to Seamus Soladin.
He got banned, didn't he?
Oh, he's out. He is out. I've actually spoke to him a few times before, and he's quite a decent guy, man. So to see him losing the plot like that, somebody's been fucking pushing his buttons, I think.
My God.
Aye.
So I think that's us with international football.
International football is shite. We've got quite a lot of players who are always involved in international football because we have good players. We've got the best squad in Scotland.
Do you know what?
And I think that's part of your punishment for having the best. I mean, if you want to have the best squad, these are some of the sacrifices.
Do you know what? This is how much international football means so little to me. When I was younger, I was bothered by it, the fear of England winning the World Cup. See, if England won the World Cup, I wouldn't give a flying fuck these days. I wouldn't want them to win it.
No, of course not.
But the thing is, it wouldn't affect me the way that it would, say, as a 10-year-old.
Mm.
You know, I just wouldn't. I don't think I could have gone on with life.
They're just unbearable bastards when you're in holiday already. Even when they don't win anything, they're still pricks.
But see that way when it comes down to it, that's how little I fucking care. I don't mind if Scotland do well. I don't mind if Ireland do well. My main focus for international football is that we get everyone back and fit,
safe and sound,
and we get to November where it's the last break before Christmas, and you're like, thank fuck we don't have to do that for 3 months.
Aye. Well, we'll move on for it, and obviously I think the last game is on Wednesday, so let's just hope that we can get everybody back with no more guys having to isolate or contracting the virus, and the boys who are isolating and tested positive, we hope for the best for them, that their health isn't affected. So I think Beaton's positive, isn't he? He's got it. Eddie's got it. But Ryan Christie's just isolating, so let's just hope first and foremost that they guys are alright, and then get everybody else back safe and sound in preparation for our next segment, which is going to be the game against the Huns at Parkers.
Yes.
On Saturday.
I think we should come clean with Parkers. We absolutely love the wind up.
Oh yes.
It comes from the huddle board, right?
Yep.
Everyone there is ERS. So
yep.
I'm Roy Akers. You're Crawlers.
I'm Crawlers, man.
Everyone's ERS, and it's simple. Celtic Park, Celtic Parkers, Parkers. And the fact that it's Parkhead and Parkheaders shortened to Parkers, and it's great seeing all the Celtic dads. And do you know what I love? I love seeing people that have never been to Parkhead or haven't been in 10 years. I haven't had a season ticket like me telling people like me who find the wind up hilarious that I'm not a real Celtic fan.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
Absolutely love. But the thing is, I would never say that to another Celtic, but they pontificate and everything else.
And that's the best part of it.
It's the fact that people get that
there's
angry.
So many stupid cunts losing their shit at it, man.
Brilliant. A fucking joke on that.
I had Big Liam message me, he's like, Parkers and all that. I was fucking brilliant, innit?
I am gutting myself. I'll be honest, Eamon. I've never really had a crossword with Eamon. But he absolutely lost it with me. He's like, this is dividing fans and everything. I was like, fucking dividing fans, mate.
Fansers?
Fansers. Do you know what? Actually, your reply on one of the threads was one of the funniest things I read. Someone went, people who call it Parkers. I was on the huddle board and went, people who call it Parkers, right, are as bad as people who call it Crimbo. And you went, don't you mean crimpers? I was absolutely
I'd say there was one, I'm trying to remember the other one that I chinned a cunt for, and he'd wrote a song for something, and then somebody had mentioned Parkers before it, and it was like something going to Celtic Park, something Paradise, and I was like, and I edited his own comment, and I wrote fixed, and I wrote Celtic Parkers and Paradisers, and cunts were starting giving me dogs abuse, man.
It's just I love seeing how angry people are getting over nothing.
Oh, it's fucking tremendous. And like you said, it's ordered fucking dough balls of the day, you know what I mean?
Aye, the ones that don't go.
And buy their taps off fucking DH Gate and all that.
I've got those fucking awful Irish GAA ones almost with the picture. Like it's half the away top, and then there's a picture of fucking Brother Walford.
Like a Timland special, innit? I still, to this day, I still can't find that picture of the one. One of the boys had shared on a chat, and it was.
Was it the one that
showed
a Mick?
No, it was
Bob.
Bob.
Small bottom.
Aye, that's a fucking doozy, I know, man.
I know.
But it's a picture he sent all proud as fuck wearing it on Christmas Day, man.
He wasn't. He was like, "Oh, JP, I've just got to be that to be nice and say this is great." And she said, "Will you send a picture of me
No
of
way,
yourself
man.
wearing-"
Because he was like, lads, it's actually alright. No, fuck off, man.
No, he was honestly, he was just trying to talk himself
Like-
around.
By the way,
You wouldn't even want the guy chapping your door for Amazon. See,
the guy could probably tell what's in a bag by now.
Aye.
He's like, what a da. He's an absolute da.
Oh, I fucking love the Parkers.
And do you know what?
So many angry people.
See the
The thing is, I couldn't give a flying fuck what anyone calls it.
I know. Park Heaters. No, I mean it's that I always called it Celtic Park anyway. I was never a Parkhead man. I was Park.
I was always Parkhead, mate, because technically, if you're calling it Celtic Park, then it's not Celtic Park. It's Celtic Park 2. Is a man who did all the research
Don't get fucking
on the
pedantic
graves.
with me.
Well, mate, that's like people who say it's no Parkers. It's official name Celtic Park. We all know.
I think they should. I think Big Lawwellers has got to get a fucking banner up round the side now. It says Parkers
Aye,
rather than Paradise.
We'd seen a few people do the old. A few
Photoshop,
people done the
aye.
old Photoshop with that. But I just absolutely. I love seeing people going absolutely
Tonto.
off their fucking head about
But
it.
back to that. See the Timland specials we were talking about.
Aye.
And obviously our Mick was modelling one, but the best one I've seen, it was a fucking absolute calamity, this tap. It was some mad green and white thing, and on the back it had half Bobby Sands and half Jesus morphed into each other, and it is fucking mental. And there's cunts going, how much are these, mate? And you're just going, he doesn't go to the games, man. He can't go to the
Get
games.
beaten up.
Oh, he doesn't call it Parkers, that's for sure.
I'd beat him up. I want to beat him up. Who is this guy?
Aye, who is this guy that's selling all these for? What about that maniac as well? Do you mind him? See, before we signed up for our joint with Adidas, there was some fucking lunatic making. See the people who were making the prototype
pre-Adidas.
top,
Aye.
and he's making
Nuno
up all
Gomez.
these new, he's fucking. What do you call him?
Do you mean the Nuno Gomez picture on the huddle board where he had what looked like a decent top with the European Cup?
No, it was like this guy was making to order, or he's selling taps here, like the prototypes the cunts are making on like on Twitter and that.
Yeah.
This guy was actually making them and selling them, and even though these taps would never see the light of day,
But some of the prototypes, mate,
they were class. Some of them were
absolute
class.
out of this world.
But
Bang on.
surely there's not enough demand there to sell all these fucking things. But anyway, let's get away from Parkers.
Yeah. No.
Well,
we'll be
fine. No,
back
we
at
need to stay at Parkers because we're watching the game.
Well, here's my idea. I'd seen it on the huddle board during the week, but Eamon sent it in one of my chats, and it was that guy who did the £23 number 7 restaurant 3-course meal, then paid an extra £5 to get onto the pitch.
Right.
So my plan is, because where my seat is just above the number 7 restaurant,
Right.
I'm the top tier of the Jocks team.
Right.
I plan, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, to go for a 3-course meal,
Yep.
make a run for it, and hide somewhere on Saturday. In Parkers.
In Parkers. In the boggles. Hiding in the boggles.
Hiding in the boggers. Taking a shiters in the toileters.
Oh,
You up
so
for it,
fair,
mate?
man. Oh, I'm up for that.
Right.
No
let's
wiping
get
your
some-
ass, but I'm not doing that.
No, I'm talking about, let's get some dinner booked.
We need to fucking draw the line somewhere.
Well, this is what I think, mate. If you run one way and I run the other, one of us is going to get successful.
Aye.
The person who wasn't successful that day can choose another 3 people to come for dinner with them the following day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make them run for it. No one's chasing me. Then I can just walk
Run the gauntlet.
into the forest.
That's fucking, yeah, you can't beat that. I love
Mate,
that
I've got it
thinking.
sorted.
You've definitely thought about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a plan.
I mean, what if? Nah, it's not even worth it. Not even
No,
worth
go for it.
I mean,
Try me.
I mean, morphing into wee Colin Bell, you could have just disguised yourselves as
See,
as a ball boy,
toddler.
a ball boy.
Aye, or a lost toddler.
Aye, but wee Bellers. Know what I mean? He's
I like Bellas. We don't talk about. I like Colin.
some man. So he is.
And he always supports us in the huddle board in terms of.
Does indeed, the young fellow, but he's maybe one of the shortest guys I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, he's what, 4'8".
Like fucking, I think Vern Troyer called him wee man. Know what I mean?
Aye. And the thing is, he's just like an inch above getting that wee extra government add-on for being a midget.
A little person.
I don't know the politically correct.
I think that's it. I don't think
midget.
I think midget and dwarf are out, and little person's in.
Ewok.
Oh, you're a bad man.
You know I hate that cunt Warwick Davis.
Oh, he's your enemy. Him and that wee
Fucking-
baldy guy.
Aye.
Who's that cunt's name again?
No, let's not talk.
Let's not
about
mention
this.
him.
No. No, I fucking hate Warwick Davis. That fucking show of his, man. No one name 10 random things that I'm thinking of right now, and see if you get one wrong. He's like, oh,
You're a dough ball.
aye, you fucking wee prick, you.
That's just something you just had to say. You're just a wee prick.
Aye.
Warwick, fuck off.
I mean, the only time he shouldn't be doing a show like that. He's got the whole Christmas season booked out with Snow White, right? So he's got that consistently and good fucking money, and he probably gets a speaking part because cunts know his face. Why does he have to fucking be a smart ass on that fucking show, man?
Somebody just needs to fucking.
What's that
lamp
called
him, don't
again? Cunt program. Then it's followed by that other cunt program.
Tenable.
Aye, and there's one even worse after it. It's full of fucking pervs, man. Full of fucking pedos going drop zone 3 and all this.
Oh, Ben Shepherd's one. What's that
Aye,
called?
it's like, oh, it's a rider. Oh, it's a good drop.
What's that called again?
Oh, fucking pedo.
Fuck it. I don't like
Game
Ben
show.
Shepherd's a bit of a dicky guy. I don't like him.
What do you call it again? It's
I used to like him, and I seen him on that fucking that charity fucking football thing that they do. He's usually and he just comes across as a pure little Englander prick.
Aye.
What's that programme called again? Tipping Point.
Tipping Point. Aye.
Shite. It's no.
Is that-
Yeah, it's no pointless.
No, they talk about it like there's some sort of fucking skill in it. Oh, it's a rider, some lateral movement. And you're like, get the fucking grip, man.
That's off my telly.
You've just pressed a button and the fucking coins went down, and it's going to tip over the edge, or it's not going to tip over the edge. It's Tipping Point.
Tipping Point.
So we're digressing from the Sevco.
We've went we've fucking Mick tangent. So, Huns on Saturday.
Yep.
Bearing
You
in mind,
confident?
I'm confident. It's just as long as we don't have any more fucking call-offs, man. But I get the point where Beaton probably wouldn't have played.
Yep.
But Christie would have. That and
Yeah.
Eddie most likely would have. Well, maybe probably still can anyway.
Yeah, Eddie, but then again, see, I wasn't confident at first. When
'Cause
all
he
these
loves
sort of things
playing
happen.
against A cunts.
Yep.
Loves it.
But the thing is, it wasn't an Eddie on form,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm probably talking myself around to this. Maybe a blessing in disguise.
Nah, see, I'd
rather
have
than
played.
a
I'd have
managerial
still
choice.
played him.
No, I would have, but this might be. That's what I'm trying to say, mate.
Mm.
You know, an off-form Eddie, it might, because we would never have dropped him.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a blessing in disguise, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
I'd rather have an Eddie playing, a fully fit Eddie. Don't
Aye.
get me wrong.
Nah, definitely. But aye, I'm looking forward to it, man. As long as it still goes ahead. But
Oh, I think it will still go ahead. I don't think.
I hope to fuck it does, because I don't want the football games fucking piling up. We want the games played. Know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just what the squads are for. But at the same time, You just hope that these international teams are fucking showing their professionalism and doing the right things and keeping the players safe, know what I mean?
I don't believe that for a second.
Especially the fucking SFA, but that's another story. But anyway, your team for the players available right now, who's your team in Saturday?
I'm going 3-5-2.
3-5-2 for JP.
Barkas.
Yep.
Frimpers.
Barkas. Frimple.
I think it's 50-50 between Laxalt and Taylor. I would probably just throw Laxalt in. Not based on anything, not based on any knowledge.
I don't like the way you've done this here, because I would have went with my free centre horse first.
Nah, I've just got the wing backs out the way with it.
So you're playing 5-3-2 then, you prick?
3-5-2. So my three in the middle is Aya, Duffy, HailHailMedia.
Aya, Duffy, HailHailMedia. Who was outstanding all night, I thought, at left wing back.
Have HailHailMedia on the right of the three, Aya on the left of the three, and then obviously Duffy in the middle.
So far, I've got the same.
Midfield would be obviously McGregor. Brown.
Yep.
I'm struggling. I want to pick Tumble, but I'd probably go Sham.
Just because of the nature of the beast.
Yep. And up front, because I don't think Eddie will be well, and if Ayeti's fit, I'd go Griffiths and Ayeti.
Ayeti and Griff.
Yep.
I would go with the same, mate. I think that's more or less my team as well.
Right. I mean, you could argue if Eddie's well,
aye,
and he's then, but the thing is, and this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, I know that Griffiths and Eddie work well, so I would probably go with them, even though Ayeti is playing better than the two of them, and I'd probably drop Ayeti.
Nah, I wouldn't be dropping him, because I just think
he
is the poacher that we need.
If the three were fit, mate, out of Griff, Eddie and Ayeti, who would the two you'd have?
Eddie and Ayeti.
Eddie and Ayeti.
Aye.
No, I can understand that. Completely understand that.
The reason why is because that would be also be why I would play Cham, and I'd actually consider Ayeti and Klamala, because if Eddie's out, that is.
Really?
Because I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because lack of game time for Griff, right? That's not going to get made.
Absolutely get that.
That's not going to get made up in 2 weeks.
Two bounce games.
Right. So my thinking would be, especially with Cham, he's ready. But if we're needing a goal, I'd be looking to bring Griff on and Rogic on, and that would shape my team for me. And if Brown's off the pace, bring Tumble on, whatever, and change the shape of the midfield a bit.
Yep.
I've
got no arguments with anything you've said, mate. It's just really now personal.
It's just personal preference, isn't it?
Aye, and do you know what? That personal preference would change in half a season. Who's fit, who's not, all the rest.
What about the fucking, what do you call it? Predictions? By the way, you're the shitest whisper I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, no. My missus is saying the Erdinger, because it's a wheat beer.
It's a wee
but also smells of weed a bit.
Aye.
So she's just, I said, take a taste, that's all. So, yeah, I really don't, I think it's either going to be really, really tight, like a 1-0 to us, or it's going to be a goal fest, mate. And if it's a goal fest, I don't even think I can predict.
I'm going 2-0.
You're going 2? I see it. Now I'm sticking 1-0, and it's going to be awful. I hope it's a 2-0 and we score the 2 goals in the first 10 minutes and they get 3 players sent off and I can just relax.
Yep.
But how many games this season have we had a chance to, after about 50 minutes, just relax? The Hamilton game.
I know.
The Hibs game we didn't really. The Hibs game, aye. But when you think of the other ones, It's
arses
just
and
going
edge
to
of
be.
the seat kind of stuff.
It's just going to be one of those seasons where, like, for 80 minutes, in most games, we're going to be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah.
And it's awful.
Aye. Well, we'll get Mick's and Paul's, but
I'm a 1-0.
aye. I'm looking forward to it, but I
and
think
even
this
though I
cunt
have,
beating getting the game against fucking annoyed
oh,
me.
it's a disgrace.
Fucking joke.
It's an absolute joke. But the thing is, it's not like England where the referees can declare who they support, because there'd only be about 3 referees left
Yeah.
to manage to referee non-Hun games.
Mhm. And that's the problem.
Yep.
So we'll move away for the Huns game because we'll try to rattle this one through, and we're going to move on to in fact, see, before we do, move on to our final wee Fantasy 5 section. I saved something the other day, and it was for you, actually.
All right, what was it, mate?
Let's see if I can see it. Where the fuck is it? There it said, I've got it.
Uh-huh.
And we were due to do a podcast last week at some point.
Yes.
I can't mind what day it was, Monday or Tuesday or something.
I think it was Thursday, mate.
But something had, or whatever it was, and it had popped up on my Instagram. And it was for a relative of yourselves, JP.
Yes.
The one and only John Clark.
Yes.
Lisbon Lion.
Yes.
And it was on that day in
his birthday.
Well, no, it was 1958 that Lisbon Lion John Clark had signed for
Oh,
Celtic.
so it was, yeah. I saw his granddaughter posted something.
So,
Who's
one
like my
European
second
Cup,
cousin, twice removed.
6 league titles, 3 Scottish Cups, and 5 league cups. So,
Yes, not bad.
what a contribution, Mr.
Thank
John
you.
Clark.
Uncle
John.
Why am I not getting the praise?
Well, you brought him into our lives, JP. What can I
Thank
say?
you. Well, you're welcome.
So, I just thought I'd mention that for...
Yes, yeah,
benefit yourself,
absolutely, and the second longest serving Celt of all time.
Quality.
Oh dear God.
So,
No, sorry, I'm looking at something, mate. On
Fantasy Fives,
yes,
and we've went for a Hun Memories team.
yes.
Now, for the listeners, JP, you can explain what this is.
Well, it's not basically your best Celtic player or anything else. It's basically a Celtic 5, so usually it'll be goals. For those, a goal you remember against the original Rangers or Sevco. So we're picking on that basis. For keepers, it's maybe a save or a whole game that they played that there's a memory that you're picking on to basically choose your team. I hope I've explained that well enough.
Yes.
So, will I go first?
Batter in, big fella.
Well, I'm going big phrase, League Cup final.
Yep. And I'll tell you, I'm going to match you with that because I kind of think, apart from getting back...
I think Boric maybe is I get it right
stuff,
up here with the God Bless the Pope.
But I just think that League Cup final, he was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't leave him out my team for that reason alone. So I've went the same.
Centre half, I've gone Roy Aitken.
Right.
Not only because I think he's the greatest ever Celtic, and I genuinely believe that
you're a Roy Aitken lover.
I am a fanboy in the half of Roy Aitken.
Yes.
But the first, what was then an Old Firm game, in 1980 after I was born, Charlie Nicholas scored, George McCluskey scored, and probably the greatest ever Celtic goal ever, Roy Aitken scored against Rangers, and it's a ball, it's down the side, and it's Aitken to McGarvey. Aitken has McGarvey in the box, and basically Aitken plays across a terrible cross ball that comes off the Rangers player. It comes back to him, and he hits it on the half volley, Van Basten, like from an impossible angle, and you just hear the crowd go, "Oh!" when Aitken fucks up the pass, and then it comes back to him in the half volley. I'll send you the video, mate. And he half volleys it from an impossible angle into the net. It goes to the old Rangers end, with a big fist, he's perm, and gives it a get it right fucking up you, all the way across the hun end. And that's when they used to get the lower end of the main stand as well, when we used to get the enclosure of the Ibrox. It's just an absolutely beautiful goal, and it's in and around when I was born, and it just, the man is the greatest ever Celt. You know, I would change the name of Celtic to Aitken FC if I could, mate. I just fucking love him. I just love him.
Well, I've went for something more modern and more recent, and it was a day that I was heading into town to go to the game. We were the boys. The boys were going to. There was only two of us that had tickets, so most of them were going down to Gallagate, and myself and my mate Jim, we were going to the game. So we gets to George Square, I believe, and there was a wee bit of a bother with some Celtic supporters and some Huns and blah blah blah. So we were making our way down, and I ended up getting fucking lifted. So I'd missed the full game, and they'd let me out just round about after full time, or maybe an hour after it. But I remember asking for the fucking result, and they couldn't when they tell me. So he was obviously a Hun. And the goal that I remember, and I hadn't seen it until I'd come out and got on the huddle board and looked for Bonfigley to put up the goals. And Bonfiglers had put up the goalsers on the huddle boarders. So the first goal, and it was a fucking belter of a goal for a corner kick, and it was the day Charlie Mulgrew diving header nailed the Huns in the final Old Firm match ever.
Oh, I'll give you that one, mate.
So that's why I picked Charlie, for so many reasons. The jail was fucking ridiculous. It turns out that the reason why I get lifted, now, I'm a wee baldy cunt, as you know, JP.
Yep. Did you get mistaken for Thomas Gravison?
Well, that, and I get mistaken for Big Jarvie. So there's only like a...
How the fuck could you get mistaken for Jarvie?
Well, apart from the probably about a foot in height difference, and him being a wee bit more leaner than me, the police has obviously just picked out... Somebody said that baldy cunt down there, and they've grabbed me because he get caught pissing at the city chambers apparently, and that they've grabbed me. So he's took, as the police has lifted me, I've told him to take my season ticket out of my back pocket.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Cunt didn't even make the game. Blazing.
Oh,
never seen it.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking clown.
Not
all round
him to get his cock out at any point.
Aye. A bad day all round in terms of that kind of side of it, but the memories after it, tremendous. So, we'll move on to our next position.
I'm going a midfielder, and it has to be the locked-out game and John Collins with his Predators.
Oh, and the noise. The yes!
Yes. And him on his back when he's sort of tackled, celebrating. He's like the upside-down crab, wiggling his legs and his arms.
Well, I've went for a midfielder also, and I couldn't separate the two goals, but because he scored these two goals, two absolute pearlers, both at Celtic Park, and I picked the one that meant the most in terms of remembering it because of the commentary, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was Archie McPherson that said that this is an annihilation, and it was Paul Lambert's goal. I think he scored the third on the 6-2 game.
6-2 game, yep.
So I picked Paul Lambert for that rasper, but it was the one he scored at the other end into Gorham in the top corner. Do you mind that one?
97-98.
I think that was into the kind of temporary stand side.
Yep, 2-0 game.
What a fucking goal, man.
Brilliant goal.
So, Paul Lambert for me.
Oh, take that every day of the week.
Oh, yes.
Going for another midfielder.
Yep.
And it would be my fourth ever Old Firm game. My first season ticket was 87-88, as I always say. I was 7 going on 8. Which happens when you're born in 1980, and those years happen. And it was the fourth Old Firm game of the season. And our first game that we went to, Billy Stark, it was 7th August, we won 1-0. Second game I went to was the McAvenny, Chris Woods, Terry Butcher court case, the 2-2.
Yep.
The third game I went to was at New Year, and Chris Woods got injured and we won 2-0. I think McAvenny scored both.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was, I think it was just before my birthday or just after, so I'm April the 3rd, and it would have been 88, and it was around my birthday, that's all I can remember. And it was the first goal, and it was Paul McStay's left foot half volley.
Quality.
And we weren't
Brilliant
in
goal.
the enclosure like the first game would be, which my dad said he would never have taken me had he known it was that bad, because we get pelted with everything. And I think I was 7 years old. I think I ended up green.
Was this goal? Was that the famous celebration, the one at Ibrox with the?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, I can't remember it in person. I'd be lying if I said I could, because I've seen it that many times on the
My
TV.
fucking hero, that man. So he was.
And it's 32 years ago, so you know that way when you've seen something from a certain angle on TV or the YouTube replays, that you remember it more from that than you do as an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old becoming 8 or someone who just turned 8.
Yeah.
But the whole, I remember the day. I remember the Celtic fans holding up red cards that day, because I think the Huns must have had a lot of players sent off that season, because they weren't our main rivals. It was Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hearts finished second that season. Obviously they had a good team, mid-80s, late 80s. But for me, that goal, I thought that was probably the greatest ever goal I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Especially 7-8. And the fact that it was Paul McStay, and I was used to Paul McStay opening up his bodies and putting those sort of right foot curling passes to the wing, you know, that was 30, 40 yards.
He's a player before his time,
ground.
Paul McStay, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, absolute Rolls Royce. You know, when people say, "Oh, he's a Rolls Royce," he really was. I mean, what he would do in a team these days, like a football team that, you know, passed.
He wouldn't look at a placing model in football, Paul McStay.
No, far from it.
And that's, I think that's a testament to how good he was. That his ability would stand the test of time, I think.
Yep. So that for me was, Paul McStay.
Quality. Well, my next man is, I think, class him as a midfielder. Certainly played more in that position than kind of up front or after the front two or whatever you want to call it. A 10. And again, 2 goals. He scored. But they both came in the same game, and the reason why I've picked this man is because he's one of the finest footballers I've ever seen in the Celtic jersey.
Maybe not then.
And his natural ability is second to none. Genius, and I think like most Celtic fans would have been so happy to have seen this guy for so many years longer and got him a wee bit younger, but cherish the time that he was here, and the 2 goals that he scored against the Huns.
I know who you're going
and
to say.
his first Old Firm game, and he just looked shell shocked because of the noise, and it was Lubomir Moravcik.
Yes.
2 great goals, and just his expression on his face, like to say, "What the fuck has just happened here?"
Yeah.
The noise. All the players gone bonkers, and he's just standing there with a hand in the air, wrote off by everybody in Scotland in the press, and who's this old guy? And here he is, putting the Huns to the sword.
Why didn't we sign John Spencer?
Aye.
Chuck Keevins.
Oh. Just tremendous. Just what a player. And they 2 goals stick in my mind. And
see, I thought you were when you were going to say that, I thought you were going to go now the 3-0 at Ibrox after we'd won the league in Martin O'Neill's season. I thought you were going to go with that one, but no. And
that was a
obviously,
great goal as well.
Yeah. And then my whole. But the 5-0 game relates to my Tony Warner story, where the offer of a drink soon became a threat to Tony Warner's safety. Where I threatened Tony Warner. You're taking a fucking drink. No, mate, I'll get you one. No, cunto.
So, our final selection, a striker, I'd assume.
It's got to be Jan Venegura Hesselink, mate. Been in the stadium, just going absolutely nuts. I mean, we went
The 2-1
1-0
game?
up. Yeah, 1-0 up very quickly with Naka.
I was about to leave, man. I was about to leave, and then it just get carted right down the stairs. Oh, I was right behind it as well.
Then I think that was it the wee rat that equalised early in the second half.
Aye.
On the right, and then when Jan scored, just absolute bedlam, mate.
Oh, our place went bananas.
Just an important season with obviously Tommy going. Just one of those. Probably, I've seen so many better goals.
Mm-hmm.
There's
It's just
goals I
poignant,
could,
but wasn't it?
yeah, go through in history, and I've seen in all the videos and YouTube and everything else that you could go back to the 60s and say, but obviously it's just personal.
Aye.
But that
Folks
at the time,
Ken sooked the ball into the net that day, man.
Oh, aye,
fucking
aye.
Unreal, great
So,
goal.
For me, that's my last pick, mate.
Well, it'll probably come as a surprise to our readers, our listeners.
Readers, you're going for Lee Griffiths, the second one in the 5-1?
No, to listeners, not one of us has picked Henrik Larsson and the famous chip, because I've not picked him either.
Nope.
And I've picked a player who I loved, again, quite recent. And the reason I picked this guy is I thought he was a great player for Celtic, but this goal, it's his first touch for me rather than the finish.
I know where you're going. We didn't even win the league that season. Andy scored the penalty.
Gary Hooper.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was going to go. I thought it was you were going to go Sammy at Ibrox.
No, I went Gary Hooper because Celtic
Which
Park, the one that he
3-0
takes the first touch and he's right past man Weir.
Past Weir. Aye, I
Oh,
know. Yes.
Just sticks in my mind because obviously the first touch is amazing.
Yeah.
And then he slides the ball, I think comes off McGregor's leg and into the net. But that stuck in my head. It's just we've all got certain wee different memories, but just that first touch was fucking
beautiful,
frightening, man.
It was the weight of it as well when it goes past Weir. Just the weight of it where it landed on him.
And it was in between him and some other cunt playing right back because it was ghosted past the two of these cunts and
aye, do
glorious.
You know what?
By the way,
I was going to say it's crack at Ibrox, the colour,
the side
but,
fit one. Brilliant.
Yeah, but that's the El Kaduri 4-2 game where we lost, so we can't really.
Nah.
It's never remembered. But in terms of a perfect finish, for me that one.
Aye, that first touch. Oh.
The game you were in prison as well.
Thanks for that.
The third one of the Charlie Mulgrew game.
The one Hooper gets it and fucking just a
Top
clean
corner.
as. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. But that concludes our Hun memory team.
I enjoyed that.
So I've went Foster, Mulgrew, Lambert, Moravchik, Hooper, and you've went. Who have you went? Foster.
I went Foster, Aitken, Collins, McStay, and Venegura Hesselink.
Brilliant. We only get one clash, and I don't think we could argue with that. That's quality. No. But we've come to the end of the show, big fella, and I'm going to read
Trivia,
out
Tim.
the answers.
Can I get a few more guesses in?
Of course you can.
Because obviously everyone will have guessed in between McManus.
Steve McManus has won, yes.
I don't know if is Caldwell left yet.
He's not in this list anyway, so.
Lee Naylor.
Lee Naylor is there.
Right back, Snow Telfa, is it Hinkle? Or is it Cha? No, it's Hinkle, it's no Cha.
Nope.
No Andy Hinkle, fuffer.
Right, one more shot and then I'll read out.
Right, no, I'm allowed two more, just because I'm special. Aidan McGeady.
He's one.
I think Maloney's off by then, so I am going with. It's too early for Barry Robson in it, because. Shit. Not Sammy. Not Stokes. Fucking hell, mate. Give me a clue for one.
You've already said them.
I've said about 20 names because I'm covering all the bases. Nah, mate, I give up. Go for it.
Right, so a list of the players who played in the starting 11 against Kilmarnock on Scott Brown's debut. Starting in goals, Mark Brown, Hun
Oh
Bastard.
fuck. Yep.
Right back, Mark Wilson.
Ah, yeah.
Steve McManus, John Kendrick centre half, Lee Nail at left back. Your midfielders are Paul Hartley, Donati, Brunei Self, and Eddie McGeady, who you said. And your strikers, Jan Venegura Hesselink and Magic Zaravsky.
Oh, Magic. Right. Fair enough.
Loved a wee bit of Magic. Magic was a quality
So did
player.
1-0 Ibrox. That's what I'm going with. Patrick Klamala.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
no,
So,
it's at Parker's, though.
it's been a quick wee show tonight and brilliant.
Aye,
It's
good.
flowed. It's been great. But I read something yesterday. This is no Celtic related, big man. This is to do with the music I'm going to incorporate after the show. And you can add to
Okay.
it if you want, right?
Okay.
But there's 2 songs. And one of the songs I've used on the show before. And it's The Charlatans.
Yep.
The only one I know.
Yep.
So I was reading yesterday, and 2 songs, that song itself and a song by the Happy Mondays, Kinky Afro, right?
Mhm.
I was
Yep.
just reading along and I couldn't believe what I was fucking reading, essentially. Is that this year, these 2 songs come out 30 years ago,
Yeah,
and I could
mate,
not
mate,
fucking
no.
believe that, man.
Go-
I would
mate,
have been
I'm
8 and I wasn't even
Yeah.
listening to that shit back then.
You're 8. I was 10, and I sort of was getting into it because other people were telling me to get into it, and obviously I had an older sister, so it was done not through knowledge but through someone else who was into that. It's the only reason I get into Stone Roses and the Doors, was because I had an older sibling.
Aye.
Yeah, mate, it's scary. Let's not talk about that.
Mental.
Mate, honestly, see, there's a song where some woman sings, and it was on the radio, and she was saying memories of 2003 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, 2003? That was only fucking 5 years ago, you cunt. You on about?
I know, I'm fucking talking about the 90s here, man.
The fuck you on about, you stupid bint? But, no,
But if you want to
Yeah,
add
but-
to I'm going to just put the 2 songs in at the end because we've not got a break in this one. So
no, I can't think, mate. It's very much of my time growing up.
smashing. Well, they'll
so go for
do
it.
then. But thanks to everybody for listening, and thanks
Yeah,
to Tim
cheers.
Trivia again. Thanks to yourself, JP, for being never present at your.
Thank you for hosting.
That's not a problem.
We just thinking everything.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Aye.
Holding the old fucking podcasters. Buzzers.
Aye, is us.
So thanks to everybody again for listening. We'll get this out as quick as we can, and join us again.
Let's try and get it out before Saturday.
Yes, let's do that. I'll try and do it tomorrow. So
Aye.
cheers everybody for listening. Hopefully we get a positive result on Saturday.
We
So-
will.
So hail for me.
And it's get it up the fucking dirty lunch bastards for me.
Yes.
Up there.
Son, I'm 13. I only wear what you gotta say.